Hey everyone, John Blankensop here, and welcome to this Big QU Knowledge Nugget. In this edition, we're going to explore the second Big Q tenet of transformation I call the universal processes. I hope you find this knowledge nugget informative and insightful. In knowledge nugget number 4, we learned about the first Big Q quality management tenet of transformation I called the universal truth. Every system is perfectly designed to give you exactly what you're getting today. In this knowledge nugget, we're going to learn about the second tenet of transformation that I call the universal processes. This second big Q quality management tenet of transformation I refer to as the universal processes comes from the work of Dr. Joseph Juran. This body of work was referred to as the Juran trilogy. He felt that every big Q quality management system was made up of three universal processes: quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement. He also felt that these universal quality management processes must be integrated into management thinking and everyday working practices. He said that it was most important that top management be quality minded in this regard. In the absence of sincere manifestation of interest at the top, little will happen below. Let's take a closer look at these three universal processes. First, quality planning. Well, that's part of Big Q quality management, focused on determining quality requirements and objectives and specifying the necessary processes and resources to fulfill those requirements and achieve those objectives. Next, quality control. Well, that's part of Big Q quality management, focused on fulfilling requirements and achieving objectives. And then last, quality improvement. That's part of Big Q quality management, focused on increasing the ability to fulfill requirements and achieve objectives. I'd like to point out how these three universal processes supports our Big Q universal truth. Every system is perfectly designed to give you exactly what you're getting today. Well, in the beginning, I used the quality planning process to plan the requirements and objectives for a system and the processes and resources necessary to achieve those objectives and fulfill those requirements. Now I use the quality control process to measure and monitor the system to ensure that I am achieving the objectives and fulfilling the requirements. And if I'm not, I'm using the quality improvement process to perform root cause analysis and figure out how to change the system so that I can achieve objectives and fulfill requirements, which then takes me back up to the quality planning process to plan those revised improvements to the system. I like to visualize these three universal processes as a three-legged stool. Each leg of the stool represents one of the processes: quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement. These three legs support the base of the stool, which is our Big Q quality management system, which stands up the entire organization. I like using this example because it helps us understand and answer the question, how strong is your Big Q quality management system? Well, the answer is it's only as strong as the weakest leg of the stool. Here's a question for you. Which one of these three legs is the weakest leg in your organization? Well, I can tell you from my past experience working with many organizations, the weakest leg tends to be the planning leg. Now, that makes sense to me because these organizations are fighting very hard to transform from a little Q quality management mindset to a big Q quality management mindset. And in that little Q quality management mindset, there's a lot of focus on the results. So they have a very strong quality control process that's focusing on conformity of the results. We want to shift to a big Q quality mindset and strengthen the planning leg of the stool so that we're more preventive than we are reactive. We're planning quality into the processes to produce a quality result. Now, the improvement leg is an extremely important universal process in big Q quality management. It's what's going to pull us from little q to big Q. It's going to help us understand that we aren't getting what we expect to get, which means that we got to do something different. We can't keep doing what we've been doing. So it's going to help us understand those cultural and systemic changes that we need to make to get what we expect to get. I'd like to close this knowledge nugget by taking a look at the relationship between the universal processes of Big Q quality management and the plan, do, check, act continuous improvement cycle. Now, you can see by this illustration that the three universal processes are represented by a triangle: quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement. And as I enact these processes in a Big Q quality management system, I set up a plan, do, check, act continuous improvement cycle. So I'm planning for quality. That's the plan piece. I release the planning and I execute. That's the do piece. As I'm executing, I'm checking, I'm measuring and monitoring what I'm doing. That's the quality control provisions. And when that measuring and monitoring is determining that I'm not getting what I'm expecting to get, I have to act upon it. And that's when I turn to the quality improvement processes to help me determine what it is I need to do different to get what it is I'm expecting. So quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement, setting up within an organization the plan, do, check, act continuous improvement cycle. Well, that's a wrap for this Big QU knowledge nugget. I hope this edition piqued your interest and intellectual curiosity. Don't forget to comment below with knowledge sharing, questions, and/or feedback. Your input matters here. Also, if you haven't already, please consider following me and subscribing to this LinkedIn newsletter. I hope you're planning to join me for the next Big QU Knowledge Nugget, which will explore the third Big Q quality management tenet of transformation that I call the universal approach. But until then, remember, every day is a great day to make things better. See you next time.